Díomh háide agus fáilte ag an darna session de Briathra na Gaeilge. So, hello folks and welcome to the second session of Briathra na Gaeilge, or Verbs of the Irish Language. Agus nu bebeide díiristeach an chéad réimniú, an darna réimniú agus an aimsir láithreach. So we're going to be looking at the first and second conjugations as well as the present tense. So, an aimsir láithreach, the present tense, what does that mean? Well, truth be told, we actually have two different versions. Now, one you'll probably be familiar with, that's that tá. Tá mé go maith, I'm good. Tá mé dulgaí an shoppa, I'm going to the shop. Tá mé all cup and té. We then have this almost present habitual tense. I do these things. So I be in Turris every day. I'm not in Turris at the minute, but I do be in Turris every day. I eat Christmas dinner once a year. I'm not eating Christmas dinner at the minute, but I do eat Christmas dinner once a year. I drink a pint once a week. I'm not drinking a pint now, but I do drink a pint once a week. I don't drink milk. So you can say I don't drink milk ever. I'm not drinking a pint of milk now or milk now, but I never ever drink milk. I just do not drink milk. And he doesn't go to Iceland. So it's more sort of saying that he does or doesn't do something, or they do or don't do something. It's what they would do out of a habit, a present habitual tense. They may not necessarily be doing it right now this minute, but it's something they do, or maybe something they don't do. So, tá cinnal tá cran and so as we tree here. So tosimid amach le Briathra, we start out with a verb, a Briathra. Then to continue the journey open, we have a decision to make. And céad réimniú, no, an darna réimniú. Now, that's the first conjugation or the second conjugation. The fancy word for it, is it wee or is it big? Is an sin lachan no keel, broad or slender. Once we've gone through the decisions, whether it's in the first or second conjugation, whether it ends with a broad vowel or a slender vowel, then we can add our appropriate endings onto the end of our verb, which puts it into the present tense. Now, by misha ag play ahan rud a winning leis an cranshaw anew, I will be discussing everything associated with this tree today. So nabi barha, muna dig into lahan no keel, ag an fuinse show. Don't be worried if you don't understand lahan or keel, for instance. At this point, Pléifear ahan rud anew. We're going to discuss everything today. So, and céad réimniú agus an darna réimniú. Céad réimniú, I would say there are short verbs. 95% of the time anyway, they're nice and short. So, glan, Gaeilge, short. Brish, dridge, arc, kai, bool, shul. They're nice and short. Remember the last two are pushing it a wee bit into more than one syllable, but they are generally very short. And darna réimniú, níos mó na sile a wine, more than one syllable. Ceannaí, oscail, muscail, éirí, immer, imí, cruinní. So, and céad réimniú, just Gaeilge, and darna réimniú, níos mó. First conjugation, nice and small. Second conjugation, bigger. Okay, so, arc, ahri, balli, buin, brish, bool, Gaeilge, kai, tangle, ceannaí, corrie, creekney, crinny. Pause the video for a minute and just go through those and see which ones you think are an céad réimniú, nice and short, and which ones you think are an darna réimniú, bigger ones. Okay, so arc and céad réimniú, nice and short. Ahri and darna réimniú, níos mó. Balli, darna réimniú. Buin, céad. Brish, céad. Bool, céad. Gaeilge, céad. Kai, céad. Tangle, dara. Ceannaí, dara. Corrie, dara. Creekney, dara. Crinny, dara. Céad first, dara second. Now, tá seo tábhachtach mar luaigh me it's a cranshin ní bluúthe. This is important, as I mentioned in that tree earlier on. Okay, and this Tá céal agus leathan, and we have céal and leathan. And what does that exactly mean? Now, as we have in Irish, we have vowels. 5, same as in English. Mar ghearna sa bhéarla. A, O, U, I, agus E. I always say Old MacDonald had a farm, but it's not E-I-E-I-O, it's A-O-U-I-E. A-O-U sin leathan, agus I agus E sin céal. Now, A-O-U. Tá má bhéal mar sin. A-O-U. Agus an sin leathan, or céal gom leiscail, I-E. Leathan sin broad, céal sin slender. I-E. I-E. A-O-U-I-E. Agus sa Gaeilge, mas gota leathan and gota dearnach tan juru leathan. So if the last vowel is a broad vowel, then the ending of that verb is broad. Mas gota céal and gota dearnach is juru céal atón. And if the last vowel is a slender vowel, it's a slender ending as well. Okay, so arci much glán. Now, na Briathra seo has illig sa céad bhréimne. So all of these verbs are all nice wee short ones. So glán, and we'll say céal no leathan ag an dearú. Well, a sin leathan. So a is a broad vowel, so it's a broad ending. Now, Tomadjara, I clean. If we're saying I clean, we write glannum. Glannum. But Tomadjalorch for dinner biela. If we're talking about anyone else, glannum, to or she, etc. So glannum, nor Tomadjalorch, nor Tomadjalorch for him when I'm talking about myself, glannum, but anybody else, glannum. As shown in the purple boxes there. Brish, well, I should céal, that's slender. So we use the green box, I-M, not E-A-N-N. Brisham, Matamajalorch, no Matamajalorch from here, if I'm talking about myself, Brisham, but actin or biella, anybody else, Brishan 2, Brishan she. So, glannum, I clean, glannum 2, you clean. Brisham, I break, Brishan 2, you break. And han cearna guest listen na Jerry cearna, not na Jerry cearna. It's the same sound with those endings. The only thing is they're spelt a little bit differently. A-I-M versus I-M, A-N-N versus E-A-N-N, just to satisfy that golden rule, céal le céal, leathan le leathan. That is, that if we have a broad vowel before a consonant, we tend to have a broad vowel after the consonant. So in glannum, we have A before the N, so we have a broad vowel after the N. And le brisham, we have a céal vowel, I, before the S, so we have a céal vowel, I or E, after the S as well. The only reason is to help with spelling. So, arc, tá sé leathan, it's broad. So, arcum and arcun to sé, she, the Cyrillian. Isht, céal, ishtum, ishtum to sé, she, the Cyrillian, and so on and so forth. So it is actually relatively straightforward. Once you know céad bhréimne na darna bhréimne, or once you know céal na leathan. When you've got those bits sorted out, it is just going down that tree that I showed at the very start. Okie dokie, hardja arcan mudge or na habitual shall we look at these sentences. Glannam an cha ahan la, I clean the house every day. Arcan Oshin or Top Gear, O am Gaham. So Oshin watches Top Gear. O am Gaham from time to time. Lovely wee saying that. Useful if you're ever looking a bit of a filler when you're maybe preparing for an exam or an oral, maybe a silver phonic question. Ishtam le radio falcha. I listen to radio falcha. Shulam Gujian Ifig Gominnik. I walk to the office often, Giminic. Scríann sé sa déalan an ihe. He writes in the diary every night. Agus riham ag an deir seachne. I run at the weekend. So, ní, the negative particle, this causes a shaver. So, glanam and cha, an la, I clean the house every day. Maybe a wee bit more truthful. Ní glanam and cha, an la. Ní glanam and cha, an la. I don't clean the house every day. Arcanashing or top gear. Ní arcanashing or top gear. Remember, you can't shave a vowel. Ní fedgelat shave your her hotta. So, tashe maratashe, or tashe maravisha. It is as it was before. Ní arcanashing or top gear. Ishtam la radio falcha. Ní ishtam la radio falcha. Shulam gaji anifig gaminik. Ní hulam gaji anifig gaminik. Brishan she na realaha. He breaks the rules. Ní frishan she na realaha. Riham ig an jerry shachne. Ní riham ig an jerry shachne. Uru. So, Uru is one of these very common tools. Just like a shaver, it's used so much in Gaeilge and Irish. It's really like our grammatical hammer, if one would like. It's used in so many different instances. So, Belfarstje, ac mar is all dahan dana, as everyone knows. Tá mé mahoney in Melfarstje. It's almost as if the M is blocking out the sound of the B. It's eclipsing or uruing the sound of the B. We have this rhyme to help us remember. Many boys go camping near ditches, behind fences, nice girls buy pens downtown, which also helps us remember that an M eclipses a B, G la C, N la D, BH la F, N la G, P, B la P, gofaliscal, agus D la T. Mar hampla, tá mé mahoney, bala clia ac imala clia, cool rahan a igul rahan, dún podrig a inún podrig, farmanach ac ivarmanach, Gaeilge a inaljev, port a dúnain a bort a dúnain, tiroon a tiroon. Lanan uru on. So or an uru follows on. So glanam and cha ahan la. An lanan tu and cha ahan la. Do you clean the house every day? Arcanashing or top gear. An arcanashing or top gear. Ishtam la radio falcha. An ishtam tu la radio falcha. Shulam gaji anifig gaminik. An shulam tu gaji anifig gaminik. Brishan she na realaha. An rishan she na realaha. Seeing our urular many boys. Riham ig an jerry shachne. An rihan cumlishkal tu ig an jerry shachne. An rihan tu ig an jerry shachne. That's my first spelling mistake of the day. Probably will not be my last. Inish archimudge an darna remnu. We'll look at the larger verbs. So, in Saked remnu, ni rola janu ogin akan jeru kyart her lesson for her. In the first conjugation, we only had to add the appropriate ending onto the end of our verb. Here, we'll have to do a wee bit more. Garamid shear and Briathra piece of it. So we cut the verb back a little bit. We get le Briathra creating le AIGH na IGH, Gwinan mudge and AIGH non IGH amak. So with verbs that end in AIGH or IGH, we take that we AIGH or IGH out. So Kiani ga Kyan, Eri ga Ir, Imi ga Im, Crinny ga Crin. We then Sinchin archimudge ta faga no will faga then Briathra. We look at what's left of the verb. August John mudge can you again funch shin keel no lahan. We then work out keel no lahan. So Kyan lahan, ear, keel, Keel, crin, keel. And then we add our appropriate endings. I fada M slash I fada ONN, matá sé lahan, agus I fada M slash I fada ONN, matá sé keel. So, ceaniam, I buy, no ceanian tú sé she. Irium, I rise, get up, no irian tú sé she. Imium, I depart, no imian tú sé she. Crinium, I meet or sort of gather together, no crinian tú sé she. Tá sé rudbug níos deacra monogreeknium Briathra, the AIGH no IGH. So it's a wee bit trickier if the verb doesn't end in AIGH or IGH. We have to do something called syncopation. Go bonusach, buinan muid na gotaí ag an dearú amach. Basically, we squeeze out the vowels at the end of the verb. Syncopation is sort of cutting short. So, buinan muid an AI amach ó muscail, an AI amach ó oscail, an I amach as immer or agus an AI amach as cangal. We're then left with muscla, oscla, imra, cangla. Is an sin, is ag an funse seo, gomanescal, a dhéanamid cinneal and cinniú, and bhfuil sé céal nó lahan. So at this point we can make the decision, is it broad or slender? So muscail, lahan, oscail, céal, or lahan, gomanescal, immer, céal, cangal, lahan. Musclium, musclian, osclium, osclian, imrium, imrian, canglium, canglian. Musclium galua, I get up early. Irian Shan Gamal, Shan gets up late. Cianian sé Bonya, Ahan Sharton, he buys milk every week. Imrian sé Pale, Lahela, they play football together. Osclian sé an Shoppa, Ahan Wadjan. Osclian sé Gumlishko, he opens the shop every morning. Okie dokie, I heard you. Na Briathra mi realta. We have plush to hear, feck to see, eat to eat, aber to say, Jan to make or to do, bur to catch or to grab, tor to give, vi to get, be to be, che to go, and tar to come. Caimara goal na Briathra mi realta masra moi in synopsis láithreach. They sort of behave themselves a wee bit in the present tense. They aren't too irregular. Clish, clisham, ní clisham, and glishan tú or sé or she. Feck, feckham, ní eckham, and vechan tú no sé no she. Eham, ní eham, and ehan. Jurum, ní jurum, and ur. That's a wee bit of the odd one. So, jur tú, you say, or ní jur sé, he doesn't say. Janum, ní janum, and janum tú no sé no she. Bur, burum, ní vurum, and murum tú no sé no she. Hugum, ní hugum, and dugum. Fiam, ní iam, and waihan. Beam, ní veam, and mean. Chaim, ní ham, and jan. That's maybe a wee one just to watch out for. Agus tagam, ní hagam, and dagan. I've just included for Jarafak, positive, I've just included as first person. Jultuk, I've also included as first person so that you can see the shavers. And Keshtak, I've included as the second person. But you could say Clishan two, Ní Clishan she, and Glishan she, Vecan two, and Vecan Ní Ecan she, and Vecan shade, etc. This is a really interesting sort of feature of the Irish language. Be versus ta. So ta me signific, I'm in the office. Beam signific, ahan la, I be in the office every day. Ha me signific, I'm in the office right now. Bíam significa hana, I be in the office every day, but I might not necessarily be in it at this point in time. So tá is right now this minute, and bíam is something that you do regularly or habitually. But we also have tá mé Mahoney in Belfast. I am living in Belfast. Now, even if you're away in Spain for fortnight, you're still living in Belfast. So tá is right now this minute, or something that's done continuously. Bíam I Mahoney in Belfast idir mí óhharta is mí van for, is an sin bíam I Mahoney sa Spáin. I be living in Belfast between March and September, and then I be living in Spain. That would be different for tá mé Mahoney in Belfast. Tá mé Mahoney in Belfast is I am either living in Belfast right now this minute, or I continuously live in Belfast. I never live anywhere else. Where you would use bíam whenever you might live in Belfast for half the year and then Spain in the other half. For instance, I could say, not that this is true, of course, bíam I Mahoney sa Spáin idir mí van for agus mí na nullig ach tá mé Mahoney in Belfast anis. I be living in Spain between September and December, but I am living in Belfast now, this point in time. So sin differ idir bí agus tá. Tá can refer to right now or something that you do all the time. Even tá mé gobar in Turris, I am working in Turris. Even on a day off, I am still employed in Turris. Whereas bíam is something that you may do and then may not do over the year. It's something that you do habitually, but you may not necessarily be doing it at that point in time. The real Briathra, the real irregular one to watch out for is aber. Durham, ní Durham, and your two. All the rest of them are pretty regular, but that one is the one that I would really encourage us to be aware of. But they are actually quite well behaved in the instantial láithreach in the present tense. Okay, so Clisham on radio, I hear the radio. Feckin Shan Myra, Shan sees Myra. Jur sé sin, he says that. John and Mudge and Upper, we do the work. Tugum bluntnish ditch, I give presents to you. Fiam and Bonya, I get the milk. Tagan Shid Awala, they come home. Ethan Mudge and Junior, we eat the dinner. Chen she go Turris, she goes to Turris. Clishan Shid and Car, they hear the car. Bíam signific, ahan la, I be in the office every day. Feckin Owen and Tulwargu, Owen sees the supermarket. Ní hagan Shid Awala, they don't come home. Ní Ethan Mudge and Junior, we don't eat the dinner. Ní hen she go Turris, she doesn't go to Turris. Ní Clishan Shid and Car, they don't hear the car. Ní bhíam signific, I don't be in the office. Ní ecan Owen and Tulwargu, Owen doesn't see the supermarket. And glishan to an uam, do you hear the sound? And vecan Shan Mihal, does Shan see Mihal? And your sin, does he say that? And Jan and Mudge and Upper, do we do the work? And Duggan to Irregular, do you give money to him? And wehan she Bonya, does she get milk? Agus an rud dearnach an seo that last thing arás hic an céad réimniú. So this is something that we don't normally cover when we're dealing with the first declension in sort of these maybe second or lower intermediate classes. Some verbs, a limited amount in the first conjugation, we treat them slightly differently. So, for instance, see, to sit. See him, see into. Sin mar deirtar Gaeilge, that's how it's said in Ulster. What actually happens is the ithreach gets taken out, and this aim or ian, almost like an ending from the second conjugation, comes in. Seeing, seeing. That's the same for ni, name, name to, etc. Same for lay. We would say in Ulster, laying to. Ach, my scripture, if it's written, it's laying to. And really the point that I'm making here is actually the skill na tug of anish, the skills that you have now, you could say every verb correctly without any problem. And you could conjugate correctly without any problem. But sometimes there'll be a little bit more detail, particularly in the written form, that we may not have covered within this session, but we've covered 95, 96% of what you need to know for the future, the present tense. But there is a few wee maybe nuances, let's say, as there always is. The main message here is you can say the stuff right now. You can say the stuff right in the present tense. There will be the odd wee thing like I've highlighted here, but if in doubt, if you ever have any doubt about how to conjugate something correctly, go to Changlan, the online website, put in the verb, go to the grammar section, and then that will show you how to put it into the past, present, future tense, everything you could want. If in doubt, pull Changlan out. I can run it on this. You can say everything now the way you need to say it. You can now use the present tense. Mara dúirt mé in sa céad session go mailisco, but tá céiste bí agah nábío og glór of college hagwalum. So as I said in the first session, any questions you may have, please have no hesitation in contacting me. My email is at the first slide of this presentation. Gur míle maigah agus slán go fáil.